You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? Should I have? It's a ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Kessel Run Weekly. My name's Kristen.
And I'm Danny. And welcome to our Star Wars Resistance review of Episode 9, Secrets in the Holograms.
So now, why exactly were you in my father's office again?
Right, I wanted to see how the other half lived, so,
Kasuda, be honest with me. Are you a spy?
Me? A spy? Why would you think...
Father found out you used to be a pilot for the New Republic, and I keep a very close eye on my father's business. So, I wonder, what are you doing here? Really?
I'm not a spy, that's ridiculous! I quit the Navy to become a racer. That's all.
You better go, Kaz.
Thanks.
No, thank you.
Yeah, secrets and holograms.
Is that 80-year-old Kristen?
Yes. She brings you the latest Star Wars.
So, first off, I enjoyed this episode. It's just...
There's one episode left.
Yes.
And I don't understand, what's going to happen in this next episode that's going to, make it for Resistance right now. You know what I mean?
I don't feel like it's really setting up a finale.
It's not. That's what it's kind of starting to disappoint me a little bit. Which, I do like the show. Mm-hmm. I do. There's always new little things here and there. And I understand, it's not supposed to be, geared towards my age and geared towards straight-up Kristen. But
we're still enjoying it.
We are.
So, yeah. So, and not to trash it or anything like that, I enjoyed this episode. It's just moving a lot slower than anticipated, I think.
Yeah.
Or I should say than we're used to.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It feels like there's so much that happens within, Rebels and Clone Wars. And I know it's probably kind of mean to sit there and compare them, but you can't help but compare
that's what
them.
we have to compare it to.
Right. So... like I said, and like you said too, I can't really right now see how they're setting this up for a finale. Mm-hmm. But I think to me, it's right now that they're guaranteeing they're going to have a second season, even though they haven't announced anything. Mm-hmm. Because I just don't really see how this one episode, how long is this runtime supposed to be for this episode? Do we know? I know
it's just normal runtime. I haven't seen anything about it being a larger than normal runtime or anything like that. So, I don't know. I'm not expecting anything more than that. Have they even released the runtime for it? For the next one?
I'm trying to see. Sorry, I saw people.
Did you forget Phasma was part of it for a second?
Yeah, I did, actually. I really did.
When Christy shows up, what? What's happening?
Who? No, just kidding.
While you're searching that, I guess overall, so I liked that it at least started propelling the story further, but it felt like an episode that should have been much earlier on in the season, because we got some cool reveals from our characters and everything. From Captain Doza, we see Commander Pyre again, the Gold Trooper.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah. So, did you find it out?
No, it doesn't say.
Oh, okay.
No confirmation, at least not on IMDb.
Yeah.
There might be something out there that's some better source. But...
So we'll watch and see if Star Wars or Disney says anything about it being a longer than normal finale. And it could be a mid-season, to be honest. We don't know if it's actually the end of the season because it really hasn't said one way or the other. I know on IMDb it only lists 10 episodes overall. So, I don't know. But anyways, So with this episode, if you're ready to go ahead and get started into kind of unpacking this whole thing.
Yeah, most definitely.
Cool.
Let's get it over with. I'm just kidding.
Oh, no!
I'm just kidding.
Let the hate flow through you.
Yes, master.
So starting with this episode, so it opens up with Torra Doza, actually. We get more of a focus on her and her life in the tower. and everything, how it looks for her in the ivory tower.
Right, pretty much.
Yeah, and so she's all trapped up in her room and bored and all alone.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. You have a balcony, her father said.
Yeah, right?
He should have known better than that. He ain't seen those Disney movies.
Exactly.
She didn't do that, though, y'all.
Because she's like, I just want to go out for some fresh air. He's like, you have a balcony.
Yeah.
Like, okay. But Captain Doza is trying to keep Torra, his daughter, trapped in her room because he's afraid of the impending visit from the First Order that's coming. Commander Pyre and his troopers are showing up to strike a deal with the Colossus on actually having stormtrooper patrols on the Colossus.
Yes, which makes me kind of wonder, like, you know, at the end of this, well, I won't even jump to the end yet. I guess it just makes me wonder that if he does agree, and because we don't get an answer at this point, I wonder if he agrees, like, is Torra just literally going to live in her room? Because even when they just come visit, he's got her, like, locked away. So what happens when they're actually there 24/7? Like,
so he obviously doesn't trust them as is.
Right. So it's like, why would you want them on your base to begin with if you don't trust them?
You don't feel safe when they show up, but you want them to come live with you?
Right. Like, pretty much. Like,
yeah.
Why are you inviting the devil into your house?
Well, and so I wonder if he actually feels like he has much of a choice. I feel like Captain Doza kind of has some experience with these things, which ends up being part of a reveal we get later in the episode. But I don't know, like, I mean, do you make sense of that at all? Like,
I mean, not really. It kind of makes me wonder now too, since we, you know, when we talk about this little reveal, I mean, how it's going to affect next episode. Like, maybe that's the big bam, like in your face kind of thing we were looking for.
Our
you know,
finale.
Yeah, like maybe that's just what's gonna work for it.
Possible.
But I don't know. I feel like it'll start a war.
Yeah, this whole deal just doesn't make sense, though. Unless he just feels like he really doesn't have a choice. Because even Torra says multiple times, it's like, why do we need them? We have the aces.
Right.
So even she's like, why are they coming around? Like, what's the deal? And she even mentions to Kaz at one point that she's really involved in all of her dad's dealings and everything. So she knows what's going on. Way more than her dad probably even knows that she knows.
Yeah.
So I wonder, I don't know, I kind of want to get into her mind a little bit about it to find out where she stands with this, because she seems just as unsure as her father does.
Yeah, she does. But yeah, it kind of makes me wonder what she knows too. Like what's tucked away in her little brain.
Definitely. So Torra goes through and, as any teenager would, being told that they are not to leave the room and they are locked in the tower. Rapunzel does let down her hair and escapes. But lo and behold, she runs into Kaz.
Yes,
Quite
she does.
literally.
Yeah, literally they butt heads. It's pretty funny. And she's trying to run out, and it's funny because he's trying to run in.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I just need to, trying to say like he needs to go inside or whatever, but he's like stuttering like no
I
else's
think he's
business.
delivering parts to hype phase on is what he says.
Yeah, that's what he says. And, which is funny because, okay. Whatever, Kaz.
Yeah.
So then she runs to the market, and people like automatically recognize her.
They jack the prices up on her.
I was about
too.
to say that.
Yeah.
I literally was about to say it's so funny because guy has his back turned towards her, and she's like, "Oh, how much is this?" And he's like,
Five credits.
And he literally turns around. And he's like, "Oh, Torra Doza, whatever her name is."
Yeah.
And is like, 20 for you." And she's like, "What? No, thank you."
He's like, you can afford it.
Right.
And then everybody starts freaking out and crowding around her and, oh, Torra Doza. And,
what's your father up to? We hadn't seen him. He hadn't talked about anything in a while. Torra.
So it's like she's overcome with the paparazzi of the Colossus.
Pretty much. All of a sudden, she's like being asked all these questions, and I mean, it's not like she can answer them.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess she does kind of know, but
she's the daughter.
Yeah,
she knows.
But after that, so
back to the tower for some more games because she mentions she's got that like flight simulator game or something.
Oh, yes.
And Kaz like freaks out like, "Oh my god, you have it?" And she's like, "Yeah, you want to play?" And so he's like, "This is our ticket in, BB-8," and like runs in and they play for a little bit. Oh my god, the funniest part happens. So they're playing this game, and the droid that locked her in her room earlier,
D4,
walks in, and she's like, "Hi, Kaz," and so she hides Kaz, and BB-8 has to like roll somewhere real quick, and he doesn't hide very well. No. And so this droid comes in, like, sees him, and goes into, like, attack mode.
Full Terminator.
Oh, my gosh. Like, I don't even remember what she's saying, but she keeps repeating.
It's like intruder.
Yeah, intruder alert. Intruder alert.
Eyes
like
red
that.
And everything.
Like, legit Terminator. Like, she was about to, like, blast him away.
Oh, yeah.
Until Torra had to be like, no, deactivate, which was funny.
Yeah. And then even the droid tries to explain, so, "I'm so sorry, but your dad, you know how your dad is about people in the tower." Da, da, da. It's like, you just went full psycho, like, what the heck?
Right. Right before that, though, wasn't it? Yeah, right before they get to her room, it's so funny because they're having to sneak around, and they end up in the lounge.
Yes,
with all the aces.
All of them.
Which is pretty cool. We still didn't really get to see them really and truly. Like, we didn't get to interact with any of them except
Griff had a few lines. Griff Halloran, played by Steven Sand. Yeah, he was the one that was talking about how they hadn't seen action in a while.
Oh, yeah, like Torra, what's your father up to?
Right,
like,
yeah.
He hadn't told us anything. You're right. Yeah, so they all kind of get a few words in.
I think Freya, Hype, and... Griff. I keep wanting to call him Steven Sand, but yeah, Griff Halloran, they're the only ones that really say anything. We still haven't heard anything from Bo Keevil, who was present. He was present there listening to Hype Faison's stories.
Yes.
So, yeah. He's like, "And that's how I won such and such race."
It was funny. And Kaz makes himself over to the bar and finds some type of snack and goes crazy. Literally looks like a savage, like, bear or something.
And even Torra's like side-eyed him, like, what the heck?
Yes. And up comes a familiar face behind the bar.
Enter Rucklin.
Yeah, so Rucklin has taken a part-time job to pay for the ship that Kaz has apparently, his words, he destroyed.
Yeah. Which is stupid.
Right. Like,
that still bothers me. In that episode, I still stand by that Kaz has got the biggest heart, because even though Rucklin stole the coaxium, he still blames Kaz for the misfortune, for him using it incorrectly and blowing himself up.
Right, like
dude, he could have died if Kaz had not, like, selflessly and possibly slightly stupidly jumped on his ship and was like, "Get out!"
Right. I mean, like, he doesn't understand that, like, his ship was going to blow either way. Like, dude.
Yeah. But that shows you what kind of person he is.
It does. You're absolutely right.
Dang it, Elijah Wood.
Why'd you take that part? I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so Rucklin is now the waiter to the stars.
Yes.
The aces. And he's very upset with Kaz, and it's hilarious too, because like he's sitting here like trying to talk his revenge out to him. He's like, "One day, Kaz, one day I'm gonna get you." And Hype's like, "Rucklin!"
Yeah. Coming!
Yeah.
He like scares him every time too. He like turns into like a little kid or something.
It's like he's all tough for a second, then all of a sudden he's like, "Coming, sir."
Sorry. It's funny.
Yeah.
So as Kaz makes his escape from Tor's room, he and BB-8 head towards Doza's tower. So they can get inside, because they see, as they're trying to sneak in, they see the droid take a tablet into Doza's office.
Yes.
When him and the First Order have already talked, because the First Order comes, obviously, and talks about the deal more, and he's like, I just need to ask you more questions, like, how many of you will be stationed? He's like, well, as many as it takes, like, you know, we're far more equipped to deal with this than you are, and he's like, well, how long will you be here? He's like, well, that's really unpredictable, sir. Pirates are unpredictable, he says.
He's like, it's kind of hard to estimate, because pirates can just be so unpredictable. It's like, you jerk, you're sending them.
Right, you're paying them, you butthead.
Exactly.
So, exactly, yeah. Most definitely. So
But to Doza's defense, he is asking the right questions. So, which kind of lends to a little something.
So, escapee from Torra's room, heading towards Doza Tower, and BB-8 lets him in the elevator. He goes up, and as he's entering the elevator, a familiar face, or some familiar eyes, I guess. Rucklin is trying to get his revenge, so he sees Kaz go into the elevator up into his office, and he immediately gets that nasty look on his face where he's like,
I feel like from now on, like you remember the show Drake and Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Megan.
Rucklin.
Rucklin.
Yes.
That's what I feel like I want to do every time I see him. Like Rucklin.
Yes. I completely agree with that, because he's going to be like that. And see, that would have been... Okay. Here's me talking, just a quick theory here. Not trying to be hateful. But I think Rucklin being that character throughout this would have been really funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, always trying to, like, trip Kaz up. In a way.
He's Kaz's Team Rocket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it'd have been really funny.
Rucklin blasting off again.
Pretty much.
That almost happened, actually.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that was pretty accurate, Annie. I don't know, like, maybe not every episode necessarily, because, I mean, they are really short episodes, and it would have been just constant, like, oh my god, Rucklin, go away. But maybe, like, every other, because Rucklin came in pretty late, I feel like. He was at least episode, 5?
4, I think. Yeah.
That doesn't seem very late, but I guess when you have 10 episodes, it kind of is.
I mean, it's almost the middle of the season.
I don't know. I just think it would have been
3 or 4, I think. But
I think it would have been, like, kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can just tell how bad Rucklin wants
up
revenge.
To his old tricks again.
Exactly. You can just tell how bad he wants revenge. And if that would have been, like, an earlier episode where Kaz already... Because he already made so many enemies to begin with, but none of the enemies made good on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm. No, Rucklin's just full of it, and now he's trying to get him in trouble and tattling on him and stuff. It's ridiculous.
So, as Rucklin's running to go tell Doza about Kaz, he interrupts his departure with the First Order, with Goldie.
I thought Doza was gonna knock him out.
Oh my gosh, I did too.
Because he was like, I'm trying to see off my gas.
Yeah. He went total dad mode.
Yeah, he was
total
about to...
dad mode.
Because that's the thing, is like, it wouldn't have taken anything to tip off Pyre on that, and they'd have been back in that office, and then Kaz would have been caught. And it would have been just awful for the Colossus.
Yeah.
So, like, he almost, like, I mean, it's a fragile, reluctant alliance at this point.
Right.
They can turn south real quick.
Yeah. It really, because right now, I mean, they're in good standings.
Yep.
So, and I think that's why Doza's kind of hasn't really said yes, hasn't really said no throughout this. He just kind of keeps bringing him back and asking questions, because he's just kind of keeping him on the rope until as long as he can to kind of figure out, like, what to do, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking we're going to get next episode, is like, what does he do? That's going to be the finale.
Possible.
It's got to be.
It's got to be something big. I'm really hoping for something big.
It's got to be. We got to figure out what happens to the First Order. Like, what happens, like, I don't know. Did we just send him off with the big middle finger? Like,
later.
But, yeah, so then Goldie's like...
Goldie.
Yeah. I would say Goldilocks, but that just...
I mean, we're keeping with the Disney princesses. You might as well go ahead and stay with a princess of some sort. Well, Goldilocks isn't a princess. It's just a chick who broke into some bear's house.
Yeah, I don't think she's even Disney.
Goldie sounds good.
Okay. Works. So Goldie turns around and is like, what is it?
Yeah.
And Doza's like, oh, nothing I can't handle. Oh, goodbye. Have a good day. Oh.
It's nothing to
and like, and drags like Rucklin with him. Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
He's so angry at that point. So then he's like, I saw Kaz Kazuto go into your office, sir.
Well, and so at first he doesn't even say Kaz. He goes, I saw someone breaking into your office. Yeah. And it was just like, you just trying to get him caught in the act? Like, you not wanting to release a name at the... Like, I thought that was a weird way to do it.
Maybe he's thinking he can, like, trick him and be like, oh, I don't know who, oh, it was Kaz. I didn't see who it was, sir, but it's even worse that it's Kaz. You know what I mean?
Right. So I thought that was weird. It's like, someone's breaking into your office. Who could it be?
I know, they're both, like, running down the hallway, like,
Yeah.
like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdos.
But Kaz is in there. He finds that data pad.
He does.
And he starts downloading it, and BB-8 sees Rucklin and Captain Doza coming down the hallway, and he's like, I need more time. And when he first got into the office, he was pressing all sorts of kind of buttons. For whatever reason, Kaz being Kaz. And he finds a secret closet.
I don't think it's really a secret. It's kind of just there. Like, obviously,
it's kind of a locked closet. But
yeah.
It has a secret in it.
Okay.
A skeleton, if you will. Cheesy note number 53.
Right.
No, but so Kaz ends up opening this closet and jumps in there, and what do we see? But an Imperial officer's uniform. Why does Captain Doza have an Imperial officer's uniform?
Your guess is as good as mine.
So the world that we're in at this point, because this is sequel era and everything, after the fall of the Empire, it's not uncommon that there are Imperials. Because Griff Halloran is an ex-Imperial. He's got the Imperial cogs tattooed on him. He still uses his TIE pilot uniform. He's got a modded out TIE fighter. Like, he's still pretty into the aesthetic there.
Yeah.
So it's not unusual that somebody would have it, but I don't know. I found it odd that it was almost like he had it in a place of care.
He did. It's like something he still treasured, but yet it was something that he wanted to keep secret because as they enter the office, Rucklin is looking around and he's like, whoa, Kaz is in here. And he looks over and notices the closet and goes to pull on it to see if Kaz is hiding because he's got to be hiding. And as soon as he even like reaches for the closet, Doza's like, that's private.
Yeah.
And like, okay, maybe not that intense.
Yeah.
Like,
it was pretty intense, though.
It was, but it wasn't like as intense. I just made it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But like, I just made it sound like, oh my God, I don't know what, whatever. But it was pretty intense. And
he was not happy.
He wasn't. That was something he definitely didn't want people to see. Which makes me wonder, is it something he's ashamed of now? Or is it something that, like, I don't know. Like, maybe it's just that kind of secret where it's like, he isn't ashamed of it, but if people find out, it could ruin him. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
He may be part of the First Order and everybody already knows that the First Order is no good.
Or maybe he keeps it as a reminder of what the Empire did. And what the Empire stood for. Because at one point, he subscribed to those ideals. Because he was an Imperial.
Right.
So, like, I would be interested to know more about that background there. Because there's definitely a history there. With his age, he would have fought during the time of the rebellion. Because this is 30 years in the future. So, I mean, he's a dad with a teenager.
Who he had to have after.
So, does Torra know?
I feel like she doesn't. Oh my gosh.
Maybe he thinks that she doesn't know and she actually does. Because apparently she knows way more than anybody thinks that she does. But yeah, so there's another thing is who all does not know this secret? Who doesn't know that he was a former Imperial officer? And it wasn't just a stormtrooper, he was an officer. Like, he had a code cylinder, he was ranked. Now, I wish I would have looked up that rank before we started to find out where he was in the Imperial rank, but he was a ranked officer.
Okay, now I'm just excited for episode 10.
So there's a lot, and so that ends up being our big reveal of the whole thing, is because Kaz is like, oh my gosh, Captain Dozo is an Imperial.
Yeah.
Like, immediately makes that jump there and everything, which is not, it's not hard to make that jump. It's in your office, in your closet.
Right.
Like, anybody could pop a button and voila, there it is. So it's kind of strange that he has it in a place so readily available, almost.
I mean, I kind of agree with that too. You'd think he'd keep it like in his room, not in his office.
Or a safe, or a box, or something.
Or the
not
bottom of the
hanging
ocean.
up on a couple hangers. Like, I don't know, it just seems odd. But finding that out, though, I'm wondering what we're going to find out going forward. And now, also, him being a formal... Now, if this is, in fact, this, and it's not a red herring or some kind of rabbit trail or whatever, if he is in fact an Imperial or an ex-Imperial, then I feel like that lends a little bit more to why he is challenging the First Order as much as he is on these deals, and not just succumbing to them and going, yes, we need your protection, please protect me. It's almost like because he would have seen that cruelty firsthand.
I would say, and he would already know like what tactics they have. So it wouldn't be anything for him to know that maybe these pirates aren't actual pirate attacks. Maybe they're First Order, paid pirate attacks.
He's thinking more like an Imperial than he is anything, but at the same time, the episodes kind of make him seem like he's defeated with nowhere else to go.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the face he needs to have with the Stormtroopers, though, with the First Order. So that way they kind of, feel like they're winning. Because you can't make them think they're not winning, because they'll fight.
That's true. Because, I mean, even... You're right, because even when Captain or Commander Pyre had suspected something with Rucklin charging in like that, immediately he kind of looked back like, what's the problem? And almost like kind of challenging him like, oh, do we have a moment that we need to come and help you? Can you not handle your stuff?
Right.
Like, that's exactly what it seemed like to me. And so it's like they're looking for that chink in the armor of, oh, well, you know what? Looks like you're out of control. We're going to have to just move on in without your consent.
Right. Like, this is obviously not something
for your own good.
Right. This isn't something you can handle.
Yeah.
We're going to make that executive decision to go ahead and just step in.
Well, I mean, the Separatists did the same thing during the Clone Wars. I think we've talked about that episode where they literally land on a peaceful planet with the lemur alien things that roll and everything. Like, they weren't a warring planet. They had no violence. They were peaceful. And the Separatists land, and you're like, you know what? We're gonna have to move in, and we're gonna stay here. It's for your protection. Well, we don't want you. Sorry.
Right.
It's for your protection.
Right. Submit or die.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you really don't have a choice. We're just, giving you the formality of, hey, by the way, we're here for your protection.
Right.
When it's really not that at all.
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing the First Order's trying to do, is trying to grip the galaxy one system at a time.
Well, yeah, because that's how they were able to get as big as they were last time. So, I mean, obviously, it kind of worked, first time around, so why would you not do it again?
Right. Definitely. So back to, I guess, revisiting the big question of the entire season is, who is the First Order spy? Because that's what Kaz is there for. That's the mission right now.
Yeah.
Which we've gotten little to no information on.
We haven't.
Yeah.
And one thing that makes me curious, too, is about what's coming up this next episode is, following up with after, they don't find Kaz in the room. He's like, Doza gets pretty mad. He's like, what good are you? Like, just go take my trash out. Something like that. And so he takes his trash.
Take the trash out, boy.
Right. Make yourself useful. So he does take the trash out. And then here comes Torra. Torra comes marching in. It's like, hi, Dad. Like, let's go, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. They say something along the lines.
Yeah.
And they end up leaving. And you can tell by Torra's face that she knows that Kaz is in there. So it makes me wonder, like, did BB-8, ask for Torra to go in there to help him? Or... You know what I'm saying? Did she notice them running? And, you know what I mean? Like, how did she know?
Yeah.
So after Torra and Daddy Doza walk out.
I like that, Daddy Doza.
After they walk out, he comes out of the closet and is trying to prepare to leave. And next thing you know is the elevator dings again. Looks behind him, and it's BB-8. So then they head downstairs, out of the elevator. And he runs into Torra.
Yes.
And so then she's like, oh, okay. Like, what were you doing in my father's office? And he's like, well, I'll explain it, but I just got to get out of here first.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, well, I know a way. No guards. So they go, and they end up in this elevator that's dark, I guess is what it is.
He's like, have you ever tried this before? She's like, nope.
Right. Like, I know it, but I've never done it. And so she's like, but it'll be fine. And so they get down there, and he's like, what is this? And she's like, a trash compactor. Or, no, he says, is this a trash compactor?
Yeah.
And she goes, it's a trash...
Incinerator.
Incinerator.
Exponentially worse.
Right, like...
Well, and they're even talking about, she's like, oh, well, it's the such and such day of the such and such cycle, right? He's like, no, it's the third cycle.
Right.
She's like, Uh-oh.
Right, you can clearly see the panic in her face when he says
it's
that.
trash day.
Right, essentially, it's I'm gonna incinerate your trash day.
Yeah.
Which to me, I mean, it was a pretty funny scene. Like, it was pretty like, oh my gosh, because obviously they're trying to run through this trash compactor and get through. But it was the most like, I mean, which I guess it wouldn't have made sense for it to be what it should have been. But to me, it would have been a giant room that lit on fire.
That's what I would think, but I mean, I guess in the Star Wars universe, it wouldn't. I don't know. I guess it wouldn't be that it's simple because I mean, in all honesty, there wouldn't be a way out if that was the case.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't have made sense.
Using, I guess, kind of plasma bolts or something like that.
It was like target practice for trash.
Yeah, basically,
it's like they were training the lasers or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was literally just like lasers, just like blowing up trash. Mm-hmm. It really didn't make a lot of sense, but it was funny. So then they're running through it, trying to get out.
Torra's made a game out of it.
Yeah, pretty much. So
yeah,
they're like running, jumping, spinning, flying. You know, all the things they can do to get out.
Torra's having fun. Kaz is
freaking out.
Life, yeah.
Right? Like he is very much.
BB-8's had enough of this.
Right. So finally, BB-8 gets to the other side, opens up a door. They slide through it quickly, and they're both like, wow, like that was intense. Torra thought it was pretty cool because she hadn't really had that much.
She's like, that was awesome.
Yeah. and poor Kaz is like staring like his life just flashed before his eyes pretty much. So, and then she looks at him, she's like, who are you? Like, you told me you were gonna explain. And he's like, he stutters at first, I think, and kind of says something weird, and then she's like, are you a spy?
Yeah, she straight up asks him.
And I was like, what is he going to say? I mean, obviously he can't tell her, but what is he going to say? I kind of thought he might too. But then he denied it. He was like, no. I'm just, I was in the Navy and I just dropped out to become a racer.
Yeah. She didn't buy that.
I didn't buy that.
Second.
I know. And even if I didn't know.
And she even let it go too. She just kind of looks at him. She goes, huh.
Okay, Kaz.
Yeah. And like, I mean, that's
thanks, Kaz. Bye, Kaz.
Yep. That's not the end of it for sure.
No, because she definitely looks like, because afterwards she gets back in her room and she's like, who are you, Kaz?
Yep. Absolutely.
So she definitely didn't buy it. She knows something's going on. I mean, because it not only, like, I'm pretty sure this is the second time she's bailed him out in some form or fashion. So she knows
the first time that the First Order was there, she bailed him out. Yeah.
So she knows that he's sneaking around doing something, but she just doesn't know what yet.
Yep. And if she knows all of her father's dealings that she's not supposed to know about, it's only a matter of time before she finds out what Kaz is there to do.
Right, because I think Daddy at one point was had like a picture of Kaz on his tablet or something that he was looking at.
Oh, yeah. He's on everybody's radar.
Right.
Worst spy ever.
Literally.
It's like, Poe, I don't know what you were thinking, buddy.
I know. So I don't know. I'm just really hoping next episode's gonna be nice and big. It's gonna be really like jaw dropping. Like, oh, didn't see that coming. Oh my gosh! Like, holy cow! Like, I feel like it has to be in order for it to continue into next.
If it's a season finale, then yeah, that's a season finale.
Well, it's the season finale we know of right now because this is episode 10.
Yeah,
we do not have any other confirmed episodes at this point, so it has to be 10.
So hopefully it's something explosive and awesome and really cool and something to really propel the story forward, because I feel like we've spent enough time setting the stage.
Yeah,
like,
in a way.
Set. We know enough about people to move forward.
Right.
And we've had enough run-ins with the select chosen to really know what's going on. At least a little.
A little, yeah.
A very little, but a little. So hopefully
insert eye roll.
Right. So essentially, I'm hoping that we're going to get more of a throw line really pop up in this last episode and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in a wait-and-see mode.
Me too. I'm just looking forward to next Sunday so we can watch this and figure out what the world is going to happen, and I'm just going to keep my, like my judgment and stuff about it for now to myself.
Definitely.
It really just depends on this finale. This finale can turn it all around, and I think this could be a really good, strong season, or this finale can flop and ruin it all for me.
That's true.
Because, I mean, I'm kind of on edge right now.
Yeah.
Like, it really can turn around for me, but if I don't like this finale, like, I'm going to have to say that I'm not a Resistance fan. Because at this point, I'm not.
That breaks my heart.
I know, but at this point, I'm not. Like, it just hasn't progressed the way I think that it should have progressed to keep a solid story.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Don't fall down that pit, though. That pit of expectation.
Well, I don't feel like I went into it with expectations, though.
I know, I'm teasing.
But it didn't follow a storyline. Like with Clone Wars and Rebels, you could just watch episode after episode after episode, and it was just like story, and sometimes it related, sometimes it really didn't. Mm-hmm. But you always had character growth in between. You know what I mean? Like, you could always watch one character, and you would see them, like, the challenges, the da-da-das. You know, and Kaz went through stuff, but I don't feel like we got a whole bunch of character growth from Kaz necessarily. Like, we saw
it's been
different.
Kind of hard to relate to the characters.
I mean, he's had his issues. He's had his problems. Yes, he's had some really like, oh, we love Kaz. He's got a big heart. Mm-hmm. Oh, Kaz can be annoying. Oh, Kaz can be this. Oh, we got a little bit of information about
Torra, Niku,
the other girl.
Yeager?
No, the girl.
Tam.
I almost want. I knew it was a short name, and I wanted to say it started with a T, but I wanted to say like toe or something. I don't know. I know it didn't make sense, but you know, we got a little information about Tam. And where's the spy? Where's the girl spy that was with the pirates? Where'd she go?
Sonara?
Yeah, I don't think we've seen her for a couple episodes.
Not after Sonara's score. That was the last one.
That's what I'm saying.
She's
like
lurking right now. So yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like every episode has to be about her, but they did 2 episodes on her, did they not? Mm-hmm. Essentially, like I don't know. Like it's just not story. Yeah. Like there's no.
It's a bunch of mini episodes.
Yeah, but there's no direct path even with Kaz. Yeah. Like I feel like Kaz should have had a really amazing like growth line there, just kind of like how Ezra did.
Yeah.
In Rebels, like you got really immature Ezra, and then you watched Ezra grow, and you watched Sabine grow, you watched Hera grow. You know what I'm saying? You watched them all develop as characters, but no one has developed in this show. Yeah. And that's what's gotten me the most, I think. Yeah. Is it's just little like.
I guess playing devil's advocate and a little bit in defense of it.
No.
There are a lot of characters to develop. Like it isn't a team of 5 like in Rebels or anything like that. And then even still with you counting them out, you've got all the aces. You've got
but you don't,
all of Yeager's team. You've got everybody directly involved with Kaz. It's a larger group, I feel like. And maybe it's just that the focus has been a little bit everywhere. But I feel like you have all these factions that are eventually going to meet at a common point. And at that point is when everything's really going to spiral into something. Because we've already seen Starkiller show up. So it's not going to be long before Starkiller blows up the Hosnian system and everything is in chaos.
Yeah.
And it's the full-scale war against the First Order and the Resistance.
Yeah.
So, I mean, something's bound to happen. It's a powder keg at this point, I think.
I agree. I mean, yeah, there definitely are a lot of characters, and I don't know. I'm trying not to be like super negative Nancy over here, but
well, you want what you want. That's okay.
I do, and like I said, I'm not trying to have expectations for it, but I know I've said this time and time and again about how I thought this was going to be about the ace pilots. Mm-hmm. Like that's what was really like that's what the big thing was. It was look at this art, look at the flying. Meet the team. Meet the aces.
And then we've got next to nothing from the aces.
Right.
Yeah. I think this is the first time we've seen them all in one place.
Other than like the first time they went into the lounge, I think.
Yeah.
And then maybe them flying around. Right. So, I mean, the thing is like, I almost feel like someone came up with the concept and then someone completely different wrote the story. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone was like, oh, it's going to be about the aces. Here's all this stuff. And then last minute... that whoever
kidding.
Right, and then somebody else had to just pick it up and run with it.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't feel like what it was going to be. Mm-hmm. Like, I almost want to go back and rewatch all the stuff on it just to make sure that I just didn't, like, take the aces and run.
Yeah. It's like, did I miss something?
Right. But, I mean, they had that giant Meet the Aces, like, trailer thing right before it aired. Yep. And to me, I thought this was going to be, like, a giant, like, racing thing.
Well,
which, I mean,
and they had Team Fireball. So,
right. Yeah. But I guess in order for it to relate and make sense with the movies, I mean, I guess that wouldn't have really followed suit unless those aces ended up being part of the Resistance.
So I don't know. I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I share a lot of your feelings. I disagree with some of them, but in all honesty, exactly, that's okay. But I honestly feel like I'm really hoping and holding out that something really big is going to happen in this last one to really kind of bring all the threads together. I am too. That's what I'm really thinking. If this, like I said, this last episode can honestly make it or break it for me. Mm-hmm. If it can tie everything in, or not say everything, but if it can tie the big parts in, or it can give me some really good, like, reveal, almost like, oh my god, I didn't see that coming, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's got great potential. Then it does. Yeah. One last episode, if it can do it for me, I'm in. I'm in. But if Sell it, Resistance. Yeah. But if it's gonna end up being kind of like everything else, where it's just like hodgepodge, here you are, like, I'm not really gonna care if there's a season 2. I'm probably just gonna continue watching Clone Wars and do some more Rebel rewatch and wait till the new Clone Wars comes out. Yeah. Because that will excite me. We're only just a matter of months away from Celebration. Oh, don't even. I gotta show you this picture I saw, and I kind of want to give it to you so you can share it. It was the most accurate depiction of how this year's gone. I'm gonna find it for you in a minute and show you. And we'll have to post it for sure. We will, because it's really funny. It's really funny. So yeah, so the season finale, as we know it, episode 10, is going to be titled Station Theta Black. Yes. So with a name that awesome, let's make the last one awesome. Yes. So yes. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen with it. But yeah, so did you have any other thoughts or anything like that before we close out? Nope. I think that's it. I think that covers everything. So thank you guys so much for watching or listening to another episode of Castle Run Weekly, especially our review of Resistance, or episode 9. Absolutely. Yeah. So if you enjoyed our episode or any previous episodes, please go leave us a review, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Sometimes known as iTunes, I'm not really sure. It's either one. Slash. Leave us a 5-star review, and we will read it on one of our future episodes. Absolutely. And you can also find us on social media at Castle Run Weekly on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and as well as our website, CastleRunWeekly.com. And until next time, guys, my name is Danny. And I'm Kristen. And may the Force be with you. Always.